Hi everyone, rents are out of control in Ireland and this has been a major part of the housing disaster we've experienced over the past number of years, all of course by deliberate government policies that have led to this crisis that people are facing with astronomical rent increases. The latest reports from daft.ie were released to say rents have increased nationally by nearly 7% in the past year, probably about 120% above their low at this stage, which is absolutely just forcing more people into poverty, more people into homelessness, and of course a generation of people who are forced to emigrate because they can't afford the prospect of ever owning their own home or even renting their own home. Now the average rents across Ireland are €2,055 per month, and when you compare this to the median wage, most people are paying massive amounts of their income trying to keep their roof over their head. Now, of course, we've seen increases in Dublin, for instance, 6.5% according to Daft. Other counties and cities have seen astronomical increases, such as Waterford 12.5%, Cork nearly 12%, Galway nearly 9%, and County Limerick over nearly 15%. It's absolutely just off the charts what's happening in Ireland. And of course, the government will say it's a scarcity of supply, and we all know who benefits from those so-called words about scarcity of supply. Of course, the international vulture funds, and of course we have the immigration chaos putting extra pressure on the basic public services such as housing. Now I'm at a development here in Harold's Cross, the St. Clair's development, that's owned by a company called Marley, and there was a man called Pat Crean who started off as an estate agent and got into the property development business and owns a lot of properties around Dublin, all for rent of course, and they're bankrolled by private equity firms such as Vanguard, and the average rent here would set you back at least with €2,600 per month for one bed apartment. And actually last week I saw a bed space within a double bed was for space for rent for $750 per month. Absolutely just off the wall to what's taking place in Irish society, all down to deliberate, as I said, government choices. And of course we've seen the financialisation of housing, we've seen the housing being moved to the asset class, of course, across Ireland, and we've seen that in Europe. And of course many of those voters claim to love house prices increasing and rent increasing as well. And of course these quantitative easing policies we've seen right across the European Union, which is the magic money tree has printed and opened the door to vulture funds to come in. And of course it's all completely manufactured because they don't build public homes. They don't see a home as a social good in society. They see a home as a massive opportunity to make massive profits off the expense of ordinary people. And as I said, not to mention the immigration chaos as well. Many of these apartments will be snapped up by international companies, multinationals, and they would get staff in for perhaps a year, 2-year contracts that would work and be able to afford those astronomical rents in developments like the one here in St. Clair's in Harold's Cross. So absolutely off the wall what's taking place. It needs a radical shift in our society to start putting the needs of the people first and our citizens first, and that demands the right to a home. But so many people in Irish society are benefiting from this. The big landlords, the unscrupulous landlords as well, making massive windfalls from this, and not to mention those who see their property prices increasing and the so-called investment value of their properties increasing, rather than looking as a home as a basic necessity for everyone in our society in terms of the citizens and the people of our country who are suffering and struggling because they can't afford to live. And at the sharpest end you see so many people being driven into homelessness because of insecurity. So this is a vision of what Ireland is to become over the next few years with Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and deliberate political establishment policies. A lifetime of unaffordable renting, and those who cannot afford are forced to emigrate or else end up on the streets of our cities all around Ireland because of these deliberate choices that make massive windfalls for private equity firms like Vanguard and so forth. And Please share my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and thanks for everybody who continues to support my videos and my work. Take care, slán go fóill.